Good morning and welcome from Muscat in Oman. It looks to be that it's going to be another beautiful day. The one thing that Muscat and the port in Muscat really has going for itself is the fact that it's just so beautiful with all the mountains and the nature, and it's really impressive. It looks really pretty. I also didn't realize that there could be other cruise ships in port as well. Maybe we just got really spoiled the last few weeks. But MSC is also here, MSC Opera, which is a really tiny ship, especially compared to Costa Toscana, is also here. So that makes it probably a little bit more busy. I am about to head into town. It is my mission to get a haircut. I have already Googled. There should be only really one barber in the port area. But we'll see, and if not, I'll get a haircut in Doha. There it won't be any problem. I also just bought an eSIM, so I have some data as well. Aerolo, the company I'm using, not sponsored by the way. For some reason it's running a sale, so really good deal. Either way, I am excited to go into town. I don't have the best of memories from earlier this year, but this is the opportunity for Muscat to redeem itself, and I am 100% here for it. And so you get off the ship on deck 3. You're being handed a tourist permit, which is a pink card in the size of a credit card. And once you get off the ship, it's kind of industrial, so you stand there. You can get on a hop-on off bus. I'm sure there's some taxis. And then there's the shuttle that brings you to, people don't really know where, but I get on the shuttle. So long lines, not really efficient. Also no big buses, only these mini buses. They bring you to a terminal building, and inside the terminal building you have to go through an easy version of a airport style security check to then get back on the bus that brings you to the entrance of the port. Now, being here already for the third time this year, I know it, but many people, of course, have absolutely no idea. Combine that with the fact that MSC is also here, and everything just kind of meshes together. It's just a big horrendous mess. From there, I walk into town. I look at the fish market, and I go into the souk. The souk, it's nothing authentic, right? It's all, instead of Omanis, it's all just people from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, trying to sell you fake Rolex watches. But it's a big souk in the sense that it's easy to get lost. And I walk around, I explore. Then I manage to find a barber. But unfortunately, credit cards and cards payment in Oman is, I guess, not really much of a thing. And then I'm trying to find an ATM, and I couldn't find an ATM. Then at some point I found an ATM, but I was so far removed from the barbershop. So ultimately I decided not to get a haircut. I'll just get a haircut when we get to Doha, because there it'll be much easier. And then I make my way back to the ship because I just cannot be bothered. There's a million taxi drivers on the outside entrance of the port. So when you get out of the shuttle, you're basically thrown to the wolves, right? It's a very interesting experience. So for me, Oman as a whole, you can just skip. I know the nature is beautiful. I know it's a beautiful country with very friendly people. But from a cruise ship perspective, my opinion is it's probably not the right way to visit the country. Better to fly in, rent a car, or have a proper vacation there, because the first impressions that you get, and as a cruise ship passenger you only have a few hours, is consistently negative in my experience. And so I went back to the ship. I just laid in the sun for an hour, and I was about to get some lunch, and then I'll work a little bit, and I'll just enjoy the day. Like, the beautiful thing about the port of Oman is the nature that it surrounds itself with. So you have the most beautiful views. That is absolutely amazing. So let's see what the rest of the day will bring. Costa Toscana here in Muscat. It looks like most people had an somewhat enjoyable time here in the city, even though there were some complaints about the port. But again, if you had booked an excursion, a day trip, then most of that frustration did not apply to you. So the people at my dining table, again, overall had quite a good time. I spent the late afternoon. What did I do? I walked around the ship. I sat a little bit into the sunshine, worked a bit more, and I just watched TV. I watched Friends. Now, the thing is here on Costa Toscana is that the TV and watching TV can be quite a challenge because a lot of the channels got cut as soon as we entered Egypt. And again, you have to note that many of the Italian channels, many of the international Italian channels like HGTV, they have a second audio channel, so you can watch all the shows on English, those that are originally in English. And then yesterday I discovered, and I tried it today, is that on the Italian channels that you have, if the show is originally in English, there's a very high likelihood that you can also watch the show in English. So I was watching some sort of an Italian channel and they were showing Friends, and I was able to change the language. So for a large part of the late afternoon, early evening, I watched Friends, then went to dinner. To be fair, dinner is just always great. Philip, our waiter, Sid, his assistant, the people at my table, we are such a random bunch of people, but it really works. So really good fun. Somehow, by accident, I ended up having all 3 desserts. And that only happened because I ordered the sugar-free dessert, which we know, which is another pro tip. If you order the sugar-free dessert, it's usually horrendously crap. So the sugar-free dessert was a pear. Literally a pear. So that was a fail. And then Angelica, who sits in front of me, she had also ordered a dessert, but before she went to dinner, she decided to go have a burger at the burger restaurant. So I got her dessert because she ordered it and didn't want to eat it. And then I had already ordered my second dessert because, yeah, a pear is great, but it's not really a suitable dessert, I would say. And so, yes, I ended up having all 3 desserts. And I said it once, I'll say it again. The pastry people, the patisserie department here on board, it really is really, really sensational. So that being said, tomorrow we have our final day at sea. Tomorrow, also really sad things are happening. I think the first bunch of people are actually departing. So tomorrow we have a goodbye time. We have a farewell party. Let's see what that is all about. Sorry, again, this is raw and real. And yeah, day at sea, which is my favorite. And then, yeah, looking ahead, we have Doha, Abu Dhabi, and then Dubai. So yeah, slowly this cruise is coming to an end. It's been a great time, but we are not at the end still. So if you are listening and you haven't subscribed, please do. Doesn't matter where you're listening from or to, just hit that subscribe button. More content will be coming your way. And other than that, I'm sorry, again, this is so raw and real. Like, I'm always just like this. I'm just recording just before I go to sleep. What did I wanted to say? Yeah, make sure to check out the sponsor, right? epiccruisedeals.com. I've been telling people on board about it. Most people here on the ship, they have booked some sort of a deal that was recommended to them. Again, Costa was selling these fares on the transfer trip here, the repositioning cruise, very affordably. So if you're somebody that says, hey, I'm always looking for a great deal for a cruise, and I'm quite flexible, you have to sign up to epiccruisedeals.com. They monitor the fares of all the cruise lines, and whenever prices drop, you get an email notification, right? And oftentimes these are price drops that you don't see and you don't find, because if you're not consistently comparing and benchmarking, you don't notice that on this ship, this company, this cruise line, on this date, the balcony was just reduced with 60% because they have to sell it, right? And that's exactly what epiccruisedeals.com does. They check that, they notice it, and they will inform you. So go and check epiccruisedeals.com. That being said, tomorrow is our final day at sea, guys. Oh my god, I'm going to enjoy extra hard, and I will see you all in the next episode.